guys, and welcome to the Watford vs Sunderland match preview. So before we do get into it, I just want to thank all you guys for the mammoth amount of well wishes in the last video. It really does mean a lot, and your understanding also means a hell of a lot as well. So I'm very, very grateful for all your messages. It was really touching, so I really do appreciate that. But we won't start this one on a soppy note. We'll get past that. We are taking on Watford tomorrow as I'm recording this. It's quite late on Friday night as I'm recording this, but it is going to be a test and a half, and we have just got some news on the radio as well. Of course, Regis Lebris did have his pre-match interview not so long ago. I think was it today or yesterday, and he was talking about potential players coming back in terms of Ian Pervader. He's been training again. Brown is sort of touch and go. He may or may not be okay to play or feature this weekend, but he seemed like he was sort of tight-lipped in terms of fresh injuries, but he seemed full of confidence. But Nick Barnes on the radio as of the last couple of hours or so, he did say that he is fairly confident, Nick Barnes, that neither Ballard or Mayenda will be fit for tomorrow's game. Now, there's even rumours that Mayenda isn't going to be fit until past the next international break, so I don't really know what's going on there. Nothing's been confirmed. No specific injuries have been confirmed as to what's wrong with him, but that is what Nick Barnes believes. I don't know whether he just read the room a little bit from the way that Regis was in the pre-match. I'm not entirely sure, or whether it has actually been announced as I'm recording this. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Now, had that have happened a few weeks ago, I'd probably be in almost a little bit of panic mode because, of course, the mammoth amount of defensive injuries we've got anyway. But now that at least we've seen Mepham the once against Borough, so he's got used to the side a little bit, albeit just 90 minutes, and he put in a fantastic shift there. I'm feeling a lot more confident. And prior to the game anyway, to that Borough game, I did say I would maybe like to see Isidore start ahead of Mayenda. Not that he's really done too much wrong, Mayenda, but being a young lad, give him a bit of a rest, and then give Isidore a chance down the middle. Isidore, who's really, he speaks a big game and seems a massive character, and he himself has stated that he wants to get 10 plus goals this season. I don't know whether Regis Lebris sees Wilson Isidore as more of a wide player, although he can play across the front three anywhere. And he has played a large chunk of his career as a central striker, but has also had phases out left or right. So he can play either side there. But again, that's not me saying I'm happy that my end is injured just then Isidore can get a chance. Of course not. Mendy's had a great start to the season. But now I just think this would be a great opportunity for Wilson if the rumours are to be correct, or if what Nick Barnes believes is correct. So we could end up seeing quite a bit of a mix-up there. Of course, Trey Hume, I think he's one booking away from a ban, which is probably going to happen, isn't it, at some point. So that's another defensive thing we need to keep our eye on going into it. But we'll get into my preferred 11 in just a moment. Firstly, we will have a look at Watford. They had a very, very strong start to the season. I think they won their opening 3, but they haven't won since. Last time out, I think they're in the League Cup just a couple of days ago. A couple of nights ago, should I say, against City, where they didn't play too badly, to be fair, but they only got beat by 2-1. Prior to that, they got beat in the league by 4-1 from Norwich. They got beat prior to that. I think it was Sheffield United, I believe. So they've had a really indifferent start to the season. We're probably catching them at the right time. I'm not too sure how strong of a lineup they put out midweek against City, so we might have a good opportunity here against some tired legs. Again, I don't know whether it was just fringe plays they threw against Man City. I'm presuming City did a similar thing as well. In fact, I believe they did. But yeah, we might catch them at a decent time, given the form isn't great. They might be a little bit tired. But Watford, you can't underestimate them at all. They've got a really decent balance at Watford there of experienced heads, strength and pace, and then a little bit of rawness with a handful of youth players in there as well, or at least younger players in comparison to other experienced heads that they've got. So they've got a good balance there. It just depends what Watford's going to turn up on the day. As I said, they look like they were flying the opening few games, and then they've dropped. Granted, they've had some really difficult games, but they've lost nevertheless. So it would be good to catch them at this time. And I just think with what we've got at the moment, and when we play the way we can, we could really get in their faces, which I don't think they would like at all. We could come away with 3 points there. But anyway, we're going to get into my preferred 11, not my predicted, but my preferred 11 for this game. So as you can see, it's pretty much what I've kind of alluded to, almost unchanged from last time out against Borough. but just Isidore starting ahead of Mayenda. So you've got Patson there, Sirkin, O'Nien, Meppen and Trey Hume. And to be fair, even if Ballard is fit, I would probably put Meppen there anyway, just because of how well he performed. And to go against a Watford side, like I said, there are a handful of experienced heads in there. To have another experienced head on our own team, being Chris Meppen, I think that wouldn't be a bad shout whatsoever. And because he played so well, I think it would be unfair to hook him. And if Ballard is even just, still nursing a knock or an injury, it's probably best to leave it to Meppen, and I believe we have safe hands there with Meppen. In the middle, Bellingham, Dan Neil and Chris Rigg. Can't really touch that at the moment. If anything, as much as obviously Dan Neil's an outstanding player, Dan Neil's probably the only one out of that trio there that I don't believe has been as good as the others. Again, not knocking the lad at all. So if Brown somehow was thrown in there, which I don't believe he would for a second, I wouldn't be against that either. I'm just suggesting and just sort of spitballing here about what may or may not, or what could happen. Can't see him getting dropped. He definitely won't, particularly being the captain. I'm just saying in terms of performances, I think that Jobe and Chris Rigg have been playing a lot better, particularly over the last handful of games. But going forward, that front three, I love the sight of that. The raw pace and aggression of Mundle, Isidore as well, if Mayenda isn't fit. And even if he is fit, like I said, and I feel like I'm just shouting for Mayenda to get dropped for no reason, but it's just I want to see him there. And again, Mayenda is incredibly young. He will get chances, and we need to rotate. And I would like to see Wilson being given at least an opportunity down the middle there. He's a big, strong lad, pacey, and I'd like to see him start rather than just throw him on for the last 6 or 7 minutes of a game. I don't think it's particularly fair there. But Roberts, anyway, on the right-hand side, he's got his goal recently. Obviously, it was a penalty against Plymouth, but it's only a matter of time before he gets one from open play, because there's so many chances now where he's either hitting the woodwork or he's cutting in from right to left as he does, and he'll hit a shot that goes just wide or just over with a great save. It's only a matter of time before it happens, but I think that would probably be my preferred starting 11 to start against Watford tomorrow. Now, in terms of my score predictions, even though I said that obviously this is going to be a great time to meet Watford, I was going to go with a 1-1 draw. That is what I was going to go with. But now when I look at that front line or potential front line, I get myself a little bit excited. Of course, we're going to take a bumper away crowd there. Get right behind the lads. They're having a bit of a struggle. Hopefully they might have a few tired legs in there. I'm going to make that 1-1 a 2-1 Sunderland win. I think Watford may score first, and then we're going to come back from behind, which is never a nice or easy watch. But it's nice that when the 90th minute or when the final whistle goes, it's a very nice win when you turn it around like that. But yeah, I'm going to go for a Sunderland 2-1 win, and I think Isidore is going to get his first goal for the club, and I think Patrick Roberts will get his first goal from open play. I should put a bet on that because that should be really decent odds. But that is my preview to the game tomorrow, guys. Let me know in the comments down below who you would start. Do you agree with my preferred 11 and your score prediction as well? But that's everything, guys. Hit the like button for me. It's massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. Again, I say it in most videos now. There's so many of you guys that are watching. It says in the statistics. So many of you guys that are still watching and watch regularly, watch the entire videos, and you're not yet subscribed. It takes 2 seconds and it's so appreciated. And it basically just motivates me to continue, guys. That's all it really is. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. How are the lads? Stay jammy.